Welcome to The Adaptable Octopus, a podcast hosted by Blair. Through honest and heartfelt storytelling, Blair shares her experiences navigating life with cerebral palsy. Each episode explores how she's adapted to challenges, found strength in vulnerability, and embraced her unique path. Her journey is a reminder that resilience and creativity can help us overcome even the toughest obstacles. Follow along to hear Blair's insights, connect with her story, and join a community that celebrates growth and adaptability. Subscribe now to be part of the conversation.
My name is JR.
My name is Stacy.
And this is an episode of Sparrow'sunderreveiw. This is a special one. We've actually taken over another podcast. We just decided all of a sudden that we're tired of doing our show. We want to be on a show that's different, a show that has somebody that we know pretty well. Went to high school with her. She knew my sister, so that's enough right there for anybody. Her name is Blair, and she has an amazing show, and her show is called The Adaptable Octopus. And Blair, please do your little intro real quick so everybody can know who you are, and then we'll get to talking to you.
Hi, I'm Blair. I'm the host of The Adaptable Octopus. It's a space where everyone can come together and just focus on life, but mainly I'm here representing the disabled community, and I just want to share my stories and other stories just to reassure people that they can do it, they're adaptable, and just keep thriving.
Okay, we like that. If you're comfortable, I don't know what happened to my mic there, guys. Okay, let me do it here. So, if you're comfortable, can you tell us, you do have a disability. So, could you tell the audience what your disability is and just like a quick synopsis of how it is explained to make somebody understand what your disability is?
I have hemiplegia cerebral palsy, which affects one side of my body, which is my left side. It affects your muscles and your fine motor skills.
Okay.
Now, let's go through this real quick because everybody knows I cut through the nitty gritty. I just get straight to the point. You're 15 episodes deep into your podcast. You started your show, you started it kind of early this year, and you're out here, you're podcasting your first episode, The Birth of the Octopus. What would inspire someone to listen to that?
It will encourage you no matter what your abilities are. It's just my story and how I kept going when things were awful and I didn't know how I made it through it. But I just share my story and the purpose of doing the podcast.
Okay, now you have a second episode, The Birth of Resilience. Enlighten the audience on what that's about.
That's about my birth story. How when I was born, I was not breathing and I had a stroke, and just it was in the 80s, and I just go into my birth story a little bit.
And there's a tidbit in that episode that I want to make sure you don't give away now, because we want everybody to head over to your show and listen to your episode explaining what led to the cerebral palsy.
Most definitely, we do want people to do that. Mm-hmm. Now, you live your life. There's various things that people can find within these 15 episodes that make your show incredible. Now here's my question to you. What inspires you out of all mediums? Because you could have done podcasting, you could have done blogging. Heck, you could have even just did a YouTube show every day, or did a show down at the Lynchburg Target if you wanted to. What made you choose podcasting as your medium for your voice?
For me, I don't always like to be on camera, but I knew I wanted to share my story. It was actually actually get in contact with your sister, that got in contact. We got hooked up through your sister, and after talking to you for a couple times, I decided podcast was the best one. It's like you're in your little safe
He is
space.
pretty good at encouraging people to do podcasting. So if there's anybody out there that has any podcasting ideas, you can send, or that you want help getting started doing your own podcast, we do offer slots on Fridays for $20 with JR from WV Uncommonplace. Just send him an email, wvuncommonplace@gmail.com, and he can get something scheduled with you on any Friday. He'll give you an hour to 2 hours, depending on what you guys need, and he'll help you get started too.
One thing, Blair, me and you went through a boot camp. You literally, you learned how to do everything you need to do in podcasting in like a week or two. You started recording your show. You had a few setbacks because you were anxious about things. But what has changed from the time when you started podcasting to now that makes it just easy for you to do shows?
Confidence. I was terrified of, how I'm going to do this. How will people understand me? What am I going to say? And just by doing it, you just get better. You start believing in yourself. So this podcast has really helped me do more things that I wouldn't necessarily do. I'm in the process of getting my peer recovery specialist license, and it's just given me freedom. Podcasting has given me freedom.
I agree with you there. I feel that it is a lot easier to, I don't want to say speak behind the keyboard, but for people like you and I that have trouble talking to a person that's face to face with you, this is a little bit of an outlet, and it allows us to be more comfortable when we're in a public situation. I think so. I've noticed that over the last couple years with myself.
Now,
I agree.
Getting more in depth to your show, you started out telling your story, building a level of intimacy with the audience. You did that. And then you started interviewing people. What made you take that pivot and start interviewing people after you had got your message out there to a certain degree? Because we never get our message fully out there. So what made you start interviewing people? What in your heart said, this is what I need to do?
Well, the first interview I ever done with my son, it was a Mother's Day present. And I'm a single mother of 2 wonderful children, and I have cerebral palsy. Some days are good, better than others. And everybody was asking what it was like to be a mother, so I just wanted to bring my son on here so he could tell you. And from there, I just connected with my listeners, and they have some incredible stories. So I just opened my platform, or created my platform to be.
Okay. I like that. And everybody can communicate back with you as well. Like, if you guys are listening to her show and you're enjoying it, make sure you're leaving her comments. Or if she do you have an email address available, or are you just
I do. It's the Adaptable Octopus.
And you also have a Facebook group too, right?
gmail.com.
Or a page, or okay. What's the title of that again?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
It's called
So
the
everybody,
Adaptable Octopus,
sorry.
and it's available.
Go ahead. Okay.
It's only
So you have
available
the
on
email
Facebook.
and then the Facebook. You guys can get on there, and I'm sure you're willing to have conversations back and forth as long as you don't get too personal, right? gotta have them boundaries.
There.
And boundaries help us all and keep us all in line because, like I tell everybody, and we've talked about it before, me and you personally, people get comfortable with people. And then, like, it's something like sometimes we cross lines, but as friends, we're all able to adapt to it. But when we have a stranger that's becoming a friend, sometimes we don't want to set up the boundaries because we want this person to see that we're open to anything, but really we need to close that gate sometimes. So I'm glad that you have that. I'm glad Stacy has that apprehension too, because I had to learn it myself. Because sometimes I would just get out there and, I can talk for days.
See, to me, I think if you're becoming a friend, you shouldn't have that open availability. Like, you should be respectful of that person. Like, I haven't known you for 20 years, so I shouldn't be calling you at 3:00 in the morning. I just met you. And then vice versa. Your friends should know, unless it's a life or death situation, I shouldn't be calling JR at 2 a.m.
Now, Blair, we are going to take a segment from my show. It's a very nostalgic part of my show. And yes, everybody, I am JR Sparrow, the host of West Virginia Uncommonplace. I forgot to drop that in there as my shameless plug while we're doing this show. Now here's the thing. I ask podcasters questions that will help other podcasters in the future. And I used to do a show called Podcast Collide, but I retired it like 30 years ago. And I want to ask you questions from it. So are you ready to be put on the hot seat?
As ready.
What is the worst part of podcasting?
The editing is the worst.
Don't you wish there was just a button that would just automatically fix it for you, or someone that could just fix it and you just be like, good job, and give them like a super donut or a snack cake and be like, go on about your business.
Now, there are people out there that do that type of thing, but at a cost, which, if you've edited anything podcast related, it is a chore. So you find someone that you like and you trust to edit your show. And if you can afford it, go that route.
Or I just tell people like this, and this is straight up, and I'm no podcast guru, make a natural, authentic show. If you have a crashing sound or like a boom, 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 yeah, get rid of that. But your ums and your and all that, those are naturally part of us disturbing our speech. Like I need to take a second to think. So not dumb, but if you say duh, I might take duh out. But distraction editing, I think it's one of the worst things you can do to your podcast because it takes away the authenticity of it.
I mean, I guess it would really fall into what type of show you're doing.
Yes.
Now, who has been the best guest to be on your show thus far?
Well, of course, I want to say my son. But if you listen, I've had people from my life this far, like really personal.
Now,
close friends of mine have been.
Now, I beg to differ with you. I think that your father being on your show when he was on it was very. If you're a listener and you're listening, that is like the climax. The rise in action, the climax, and the fall in action, like we learned in school. When your dad came on and he spoke his piece on there, it was like, wow, this gives Blair the most authenticity because now I know her story's real. Not saying you're lying or anything, but just forced everything you said. So as a listener, I would say him. And I think it was one time me and Stacy were traveling. Yeah. We were traveling like up 29 or somewhere listening to your show. We were out from Gretna going to Lynchburg. Your shows are very nice. They're very concise. I like that about your show. That's one thing I want to tell you there. But let's go in a little bit deeper. Now, are you ready for this question? All right, but it's deep. Here it goes.
I'm ready.
What has hurt you from podcasting? And I'll give you an example with me so you can take a little time to think about it. Where I got hurt in podcasting is the more and more I went into my personal situations that were going on with me, personal journal, certain mental aspects, certain things that make me human. Sometimes when I go back and listen to them, they hurt me a little bit because I'm like, man, I was in a bad place. And I'm glad that I had certain people around to get me out of them. But those are the things that hurt me in podcasting when I gave away some information that maybe I should have just kept my mouth quiet about.
Yeah. Well, I've had a really tough upbringing. So anytime I bring up deeply personal information, I always regret it just a little bit until my audience or people will listen to it, and then it's not that bad. So one thing that I don't like there. I've always just focused on the positive, so
And that's a good answer.
I can't say one specific thing. You just gotta know you just have to know who you are and what you're willing to do or say, and just go, it's your own path.
Now, this is the final question inside Podcast Collide, and this is a deep question. You're sitting here, it's 2025, right? It'll be 2026 real soon. We're getting close to it. You know, we're 7 months deep in the year. And you got to think about the next thing you're going to do with your podcast. Because you sat here, you've done the interviews, you've told a story about yourself, you've wrapped your family around it, you've had some heartaches, hardships, some great things coming out of it, and some even better things with aligning with your son and him helping you along the way with your show and everything, especially the microphone, right? Right.
Yes.
So what's next for
my son? Yes.
In general.
In 2026, I want to take my podcast on the road. I want to get to a place where I can do public speaking and public events and just see how far it can go. But I want to live my life open and unashamed.
I like those
do what I'm
plans
supposed to do.
for you.
They sound pretty good.
Yes.
Sound like you might be you should apply and become a speaker at Podfest. Because I think you got a story.
Maybe the next year.
No, like that's what I'm thinking about. So I am considering it.
Are you gonna try to attend though?
I'm not committed to it.
Okay.
Now,
absolutely.
If there was a billboard on top of what?
You said that was the last question.
This is something different. Oh, go ahead then.
Well, don't ask her another 2020 podcast collection.
No, this is something like this is outside of this.
Okay. I was just making sure.
Wow. Go ahead and talk, Stacy.
No, I gotta keep you in line.
All right. So going forward, how do you select your guests for your show?
These people have inspired me, have helped me along my journey. Right now, the people I'm interviewing or my guests are people that have inspired me to get to where I am right now.
So
that's where I'm at right now. So if you have an amazing story of being adaptable or resilient.
And do you have a calendar app set up so that people can schedule certain dates and times to work with you?
You know, I'm very technology illiterate, and so no, but I would love to learn.
Maybe I need to try that over at wvuncommonplace@gmail.com.
No. A funny part of our show, we review movies,
absolutely.
Review music. Only music we review is Taylor Swift.
Food.
And food. So Stacy usually does this when we have guests because obviously we're on your show taking over with our show while I'm on the show with you all, which that's kind of crazy.
Promoting his show.
Promoting my show, your show, and her show.
So we got 3 shows rolled in one.
So what is your favorite movie? What is your favorite song? And who is your favorite artist?
I love Lil Wayne. That is my favorite artist. My favorite song right now.
Ruth?
Um,
Who Let the Dogs Out?
favorite song. I have a favorite song for every
I said your favorite
area of
song was Who Let the Dogs
my
Out.
life. What? Oh,
He was
absolutely.
reminding me
He
what it
loves
was.
to be on the podcast.
I agree with you. I'm that type of person. Depending on my mood, what my
Yes.
favorite song is at the moment. And then favorite movie. Okay.
My Fair Lady. Love it.
Now do you
I can relate so much to that movie. Not the love part, but the coming into your own.
now do you have a favorite actor or actress? Or TV series? Okay.
I know.
Gotcha.
No.
Yeah.
I'm more a music person. I am more, yeah. One really awesome thing that I've done with my children, if we've had a rough day or just a hard day, we have dance parties in the kitchen all the time. It's amazing. It's a great way of just releasing stress and
Okay,
letting
I like that.
the day go. So I recommend dance.
Now, I know you don't normally do a very long show, so we won't hold you much longer.
Mhm.
But one thing I need you to leave the audience with is this. And this is from my show. This isn't from Stacy's. I need you to leave them with a mission statement. And that mission statement, I need you to know what you're promising to the world and what you want the world to give back to you and what you want to keep in the world.
What you matter, you have a purpose, you are where you're supposed to be. So don't let anybody take your spot. What you're supposed to do, and just go in confidence. Yeah, that's what I would
I mean, that was a good mission statement. So we want
I
to
forgot the other
thank you for being on Sparrow's Under Review while it's on your show. And audience,
Okay.
there's a thing that Blair forgot to do. She forgot to do a shameless plug. Do a shameless plug where everybody
Okay.
can meet and greet you across the internet, and please let them know where they can just interact with you. If it's either email works better, or would you rather them meet you inside your group and talk to you there?
I would love for you to find me on Facebook, the Adaptable Octopus, and connect there. And you can find me on YouTube.
Well, to wrap the show up, we do a little something like this.
Thanks for tuning in to the Adaptable Octopus. If you enjoyed the conversation, don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode. You can listen on your favorite podcast platform, whether it's Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or anywhere else you love to stream. And if you have a moment, leave a review or share the podcast with someone who might enjoy it too. Your support means the world and helps grow this amazing community. Until next time, keep adapting, keep thriving, and take care.